Perhaps you're someone who feels as though they feel too much, or you've been led to believe that having a lot of emotions, having a deep, heavy feeling was not okay. Or maybe you grew up being told that having a lot of feelings was frowned upon, that it needed to be hidden, that it was something that was uncomfortable for everyone else, so you needed to deal with in a different way. All of these things are something that I have personally experienced and something that I've grown and have learned to get over in my own way. And so today I just want to share with you some of the ways that I believe we can harness our feelings and nurture them and recognize them as the superpowers that they are. Having deep feelings, having the ability to feel deeply, means that you are in tune with what's really going on. Now, of course, we need to have balance. We need to find a way to have control over our emotions and work with them in co-creation and not allow them to be the wave that crushes us. We need to be skilled sailors if we want to have a balanced life. But we also, if we want to have our feelings and emotions be a superpower, we need to create space for them to be all that they are, for them to exist in whatever comes, in whatever they look like, and whatever they want to allow themselves to express themselves as, so that we're not tempted to box them, so that we're not tempted to perpetuate the idea that our feelings and our emotions are weakness, that there's something that need to be contained, that there's something that are detrimental in whatever way, which they can be when there isn't balance. But when we can find a way to harness them, to work with them, to acknowledge them, to honor them, to give them the space to exist and see what happens, to see what creation is there, what messages are there, the possibilities are endless. And so each of us also embody both the masculine and the feminine aspects, just on different ends of the spectrum at different times and different moments in our lives. Some of us choose to embody more of the feminine throughout our lives, and what I'll share with you today are the feminine ways to feel that are based upon the traditional and historical categorizations of femininity. How femininity is categorized generally, traditionally, within the literature that we know. There's so many different ways to interpret what feminism means to you, what not just femininity, what it means to be feminine. Everyone has their own idea of what that looks like. Everyone has their own interpretation of what it means to be feminine. But what I'll talk about are the traditional ways that we think of femininity being open and receptive and nurturing and a lot slower paced. This imagination space, the imaginatory realm, the fluid space. These are ways that I have found that are very beneficial for me to lean into what I'm actually feeling, to allow myself to feel. And from this place, I've been able to create much more in my life. Everything is creation, right? Everything we do is a product of our creativity and the imagination that we allow ourselves to experience in our minds, that just translates out into everything that we do. The shifts that can happen, the realizations we can come to, and the transformations we can materialize in our lives The transformations that we can bring forth into our lives can all change in such a monumental way when we allow ourselves to feel. When we allow ourselves to feel deeply. And a lot of times, that can be scary. It can be scary to see what's there. It can be frightening to be with the true feeling of whatever's there. A lot of times we want to numb what we're feeling. We want to put band-aids on what we're feeling and not look at the scar. We want to pretend that we're not feeling anything. We have many different ways to avoid, many different ways to paint a picture that is more suitable so that we don't have to look at what's really there. If you want to tap in, if you want to explore, if you're curious about what you're really feeling in any given moment, what I suggest first is to slow down. In anything that you're doing, in any practice that you have found, in any way that you're living your life currently, if you can slow it down, just slow down, become aware, breathe as deeply as you can, the deepest breath that you've done in weeks, and see what that ignites in you, and see what space you have created from that. Slowing down in your speech, slowing down the way that you walk, slowing down so that you're not rushing. When you're rushing, I think of just when maybe you're in a hurry to get somewhere, so you're rushing to find the keys and grab everything that you need and put your shoe on as you're walking out the door, These are the moments when it's easy for us to come into a place of forcefulness. We're trying to force. We're rushing. We're trying to get from one place to another. It's very penetrative. If we can take the time to slow down in these moments, that's just one example. Maybe you're rushing to finish a project. Maybe you're rushing to eat. Maybe you're rushing to cook the actual food. These are the moments where when you slow down, there is space to see what's actually in front of you. When you slow down, you're able to hear. You're able to feel what has been wanting to speak. Moving a lot slower allows us to receive more. You may notice something you didn't notice before. Slowing down is really one of the only ways that we can allow ourselves to feel. Otherwise, we're just rushing over what's actually happening. We're going from one place to the next. We're going from this to that, from this person to that person, from this situation to that situation. Like, when we pause, when we slow down, when we take deep breaths, when we allow ourselves to be with what's there, then it doesn't have to scream over all the other noise. The feminine is fluid. It's water-bearing. It's not rigid. It's open to change. It's transformative. And so when we lean into that energy, we invite so much magic. We invite the spirit of infinite possibility. Dancing with the uncertainty, from this place, we can find our greatest healing. From this place, we find out what needs to be healed. When we can feel it, right? When we can really feel what's going on, you can say, oh, this may need my attention. We can feel the tension. We can feel the heartbreak. We can feel the voids, the sadness, whatever is there. So I invite you all to find a practice that feels good to you, to be able to feel in your body, to feel in your emotions. That can look like so many different things. That can be a physical practice, walking, running, yoga, swimming, Tai Chi, boxing, or you can create the spaces that allow you to feel very deeply without judgment from yourself or anyone else. Maybe sitting in a room by yourself. It's as simple as that. Or watching a movie that's got a lot of emotions in it and spark something in you and allowing yourself to feel whatever comes up. I know people who will avoid movies that they know are going to make them feel emotions because they don't want to feel them. And it's like, it seems as though when you are that avoidant of an emotion, that emotion has control over you. That emotion, what is the saying by Carl Jung? When you don't have control over your emotions, you'll call it fate and it'll run your life. Yeah, I mean, when we don't allow ourselves to go there, if we allow fear of confronting the feelings that are our inherent birthright and power to feel, we are no longer the ones running the show. Let's wear fabrics that feel good and allow ourselves to feel joyful as much as we can in the way that we live, in the things that we eat, and how they're making us feel. Noticing the changes, and when we put certain food in, and when we take certain foods out that we know are disruptive to our internal organ system. Like, to allow yourself to feel is an act of rebellion. To allow yourself to truly and deeply feel all that it is you feel in your life, in your heart, in your body, so that you can live a high quality life, so that the actions you take are of the quality of your soul, the clothes that you wear, the songs that you sing, the way that you love. Is all from a place of deeply feeling, trying out different things and seeing what feels good, sitting with the things that don't feel good. When we're not able to sit with those things, they just get louder and louder. So let's allow ourselves to make a, the Mad Hatter tea party for everyone at the table. And just have everybody be present so that we're all in coherence. We're all on each other's team, and you are the one running the party. You are the hostess. You're making sure everyone has their place, making sure everyone has what they need so that you can go off on your adventure in peace. And hopefully that was helpful. Sometimes it's not easy to feel because you may not like what you feel, but this is the opportunity you have to change it when you really allow yourself to see the truth of what is being felt. And that is the main message for this day. And hopefully it sparked and ignited something in you, some sort of enlightenment, some sort of motivation that you didn't have before. And I look forward to sharing more with you here. And I will see you in the next video.